This is Singapore chili crab, meaty crabs in a rich, sweet and savory, slightly spicy, briny and umami sauce. Ugh, it's all about that delicious sauce. Chili crab is messy to eat and actually really expensive, not in this current economy, okay? So make this at home, it's so easy and quick and you don't need a lot of ingredients as well, so let's do this. First, we have to make that sambal base or dried chili paste. Is what gives chili crab that richness. I have some dried chilies here. You want to give it a rinse if it is kind of dusty and then pour boiling water all over it. Let this hang out for about 5 minutes or so or until it rehydrates and then drain the chilies. Chop the chilies up into smaller pieces for easier blending. I like to use a pair of scissors for this. You don't really want to be touching the dried chilies with your bare hands, okay? So once you have something like this, we are ready to blend. Grab a blender and add the chopped dried chilies first. Some onions chopped again for easier blending. Garlic. Ginger, again we are going to chop it for easier blending. This is Belachan or shrimp paste. This is optional but I do like the umami that it gives the sambal base. And finally, a nice splash of water for easier blending, but do not add too much, okay? Then just give this a nice good blend until you get a nice paste just like this. Done, and keep this to one side. Next, let's talk crabs. We usually use mud crabs. Live ones would be the best for the freshness, but I am really squeamish about cutting up live crabs. I just can't. So I ordered mine readily cut and cleaned. I believe if you get your crabs at the markets, you can get the nice people to do this for you as well. Anyway, here are our mud crabs. We have the top shell of the crab here is called carapace. We're learning a fancy new word today. You can use other types of crabs such as flower crabs, but we love the mud crabs for these huge meaty claws. Just look at this. I'm also so surprised that they actually did this for me, and that is to correct the tough shell of the crab claws. In case yours isn't, then you want to take this step to correct the crab claws. Do this either with the back of the knife, or I like to use a pestle just like this, and you want to gently knock your claw until it breaks, revealing all of that crab meat underneath. Not completely, okay? So something just like this, like it's kind of exposing a little bit, this is good. Okay, now that we have our crabs freshly cut and clean, let's actually get to making the chili crab. To a wok, add some oil, and then once hot, we are adding the chili crab sambal paste. Continuously stir the paste over low to medium heat, and don't just stir this until it is fragrant, okay? That's not the right way. You want to continue to stir and cook the paste down until it dries down slightly. And most importantly, you can see the oil surfacing over the chili paste. You should also see the surrounding oil turn red as well, like chili oil. So something like this is good. Once that happens, we are adding tomato ketchup next. We are using quite a bit of tomato ketchup here. Yep, this is the same stuff that you dip your fries in. Next, chili sauce. This is the sweet chili sauce, by the way. Optional, but I am adding some oyster sauce here for a little bit more of that umami saltiness. Give all of this a good stir until you get a nice incorporated sauce just like this, and then we are adding the crab pieces in. Add all of the crab pieces in except for the top shells just for easier stirring. By the way, you see all this yellow stuff here? This mustardy stuff is good stuff, okay? It's full of crabby umami flavor, so don't clean all of this out. Stir all of the crabs and let all of that get nice and friendly with the paste until you get something like this. Then pour in water here. You can also use chicken stock. I also like a lot of gravy because I need all of that gravy for some serious bread soaking later on. But if you prefer a less saucier crab, then just add less water. Once you've stirred all of that to combine, we are going to top that off with the crab carapace. Then cover that with a lid and basically let that boil and let the crabs cook. Use medium heat for this. Crabs cook really quickly. I do have a lot of crabs here, but mine cooked in a total of about 8 to 10 minutes. Basically, once the carapace turns bright red orange, we are good to go, just like this. So I'm just going to be removing my carrot pieces here again, just for easier stirring, no other major reason. If you can stir your crabs easily with them on, then just, you can leave it in. At this stage, you want to give your gravy a taste test. It should be seasoned enough by all of the sauces that we added, and then I am just adding a little bit more salt. As well as sugar. I'm using some palm sugar here, but you can use regular sugar. And all of this is to taste. Give that a stir to combine, and then we are adding in a cornstarch slurry next. This is just a mixture of some cornstarch dissolved in some water. Make sure you give it a stir before adding it in. We are just adding the cornstarch slurry bit by bit just to slightly thicken it. Once you get a thickness that's something like this, stop. Do not add more because we are adding in eggs next, and this is going to thicken it even more. So simply stir in the scrambled eggs and you will get a nice thick gravy. There is the option to remove your crabs so that you are just left with the sauce in the wok, and then slowly pour in the eggs while you stir the sauce in one direction. This can get you bigger egg ribbons in the sauce, but I can't be bothered, and I do like having the scrambled eggs like this as well, so this is fine by me. Once the gravy is nice and thick and the eggs are all scrambled and cooked, our gravy is done. This eggy gravy is everything. Top back with the crab carapaces. And our easy and so good chili crab is actually done. Serve this immediately, but you know what? I have to have my chili crabs with some deep fried mantou buns. These are just ready-made store-bought mantous and you can steam them, but I am going to deep fry this for a nice crispy mantou. To deep fry these frozen ready-made mantous, all you do is defrost your mantous first. Add plenty of oil to the pan. I don't like using much oil actually, so I add just enough so the mantous can just float in the pan. I just use a low to medium heat for this because I do not want to burn the mantous. Keep flipping it over in the oil just for a while, about 1 to 2 minutes, until the surface is golden brown. This is actually perfect for me, and then remove this from the oil. Super easy. Okay, back to our gorgeous chili crab. So I like to arrange the crabby bits first, and then those nice big meaty claws. Then give all of these a nice drizzle of that thick gravy first before topping it off with the carrot paste. And finally, huge big chunks of cilantro or coriander. Do not chop them into tiny little pieces, okay? Do not ask me why, but this is how the restaurants garnish, so we have to do it as well. Don't forget the fried mantous. Clean up the bowl a little bit because we are all professionals here. Now cheap pretty, and then eat. So I hope you try this easy Singapore chili crab recipe. It's so messy to eat, but it's so good and so worth it. So give it a go. Otherwise, hopefully you learned a new word today, carapace, and bye. If you love this recipe, then I bet you will love this one next.